What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action. Today, we're going to be taking you through 3 incredibly powerful strategies to try out with the new Chinese civilization. The first one is going to be a very, very quick one. This is with Fu Shi. And basically what we're going to be doing is looking to use this god power, the Peach Blossom Spring, to get us an incredibly fast advance time. This is really, really powerful. I'm not sure if it's like an S tier strategy or it's very counterable or what have you. If your opponent knows what's coming, if they expect it, maybe it's not as good as if they don't. But my opponent here had no idea what was coming for him. The civ is brand new, so how are you supposed to know? So you might be able to get a lot of really easy wins. Really, really simple. You're just going to effectively drop your silo down onto a gold mine, grab yourself 50 gold, put everything else onto food, eat 1 boar or 300 food, excuse me. Then after that, you're going to jump over onto a peach blossom and harvest the rest of it. So yes, you're not going to have this big amount of income later in the game to rely on, but hopefully the fast advance is going to be able to pay itself off. As you can see here, I'm just going to do a quick little shift click and the next villager here is going to come out onto the Peach Blossom Spring. You want to make sure you start harvesting this at the very last possible moment so you get enough food to advance. Otherwise, it's not going to work. We're going for a 14 population classical age here. So following this, we're going to be going up through the god that gets you the Yatsu, the Chi Yo, right? This thing here is insanely powerful at killing off villagers. It's got basically a teleport mechanic. I actually cut villagers for just a tiny bit, though I don't think I actually need to. You could probably get the villager going and then pre-queue and still get like a 2-minute 50-ish advance time. The next part about this is you want to make sure you get 150 gold in so that you can get yourself the upgrade for your Yatsu. And then you're basically just going to be attempting to raid your opponent into the ground. You see I got 2 villagers on food, 8 villagers on wood. You're going to have to change these around mid-classical age. It's not an easy follow-up, so if things go wrong here, you're probably going to be losing the game. So you do have to make sure you're playing very, very nice. There's probably some optimization to go behind this. Was my first attempt at doing this strategy. But nonetheless, we're going to be harassing with our Pioneer, just being as annoying as we possibly can. Unfortunately for us, we sort of misplaced our boars there. Now, if you don't have aggressive hunt here as well, probably not a good idea to go for the strat, though maybe you can lure your hunt or herd your hunt into a silo on your gold mine, or potentially lure it into the into your main town center and maybe take yourself a 3-minute advance time, a 15 population advance time instead. But nonetheless, the raids start coming in, and you'll see the power of this. As the priest doesn't really do damage at this point in the game. I've already picked 1 villager off here. Going to be going for even more. My Pioneer is getting damage over onto this guy. The special attack does take a little bit to actually come up, so you do have to be careful. But once you have 2 of these and you have the upgrade, you're one-hitting villagers. As I come in and the villager is dead, and I can go and kill another one, and my opponent here did not want any more. You can see I'm a little bit overjoyed with how silly this is. But this is a very, very powerful tactic, very powerful strategy. You can see my economy's all over the place here. Definitely need to take the villagers off of wood and do something else with these bad boys at this point. But nonetheless, give this one a go, as I think this one's a lot of fun. It's kind of similar to the Chronos Rush, but maybe a little bit more powerful with these Yatsu. I imagine the defense for this strategy is going to be to just like advance a little bit quicker, maybe a 4-minute advance from Egyptian. This probably works really well versus the Norse gods as well. And yeah, I'm enjoying myself a little bit too much. So hopefully you guys have the same amount of fun here. But let's jump into strategy number 2. All right. So now this strategy number 2 kind of only works with Noir. You can do it with Shennong, but I don't know if I'd recommend it. You'll see why. Basically, you need to have the god Haltu, as this god has got a really, really unique technology called advanced defenses. I'm going to be dropping these houses down. Currently, I think this is the best way to open with Nuwa in order to get yourself the favor, to get yourself out the chieftain, the Kualfu chieftain, which is the unique hero. It costs 20 favor. Very, very expensive amount of favor to get this Studorino out. I'm just going to get myself the 150 gold for the temple. I need to get 150 wood. You can see I share my silo with the wood line here. There's probably other ways to do this. You can potentially build a silo up on a wood line and shoot the giraffe close to it, and that way you can save yourself a silo pretty much every single game. So that's a way to go through this strategy as well. But effectively, this build does not need to go this strategy. You can just do this strat or this build and do whatever else you want to go for. But yeah, effectively, it's going to be everyone onto food, with the Kualfu going to be getting us the 150 gold and 150 wood, and then building a temple. And as soon as we have 20 favor, we're going to be getting ourselves our upgrade. You can even pre-queue the upgrade if you want, but yeah, this is what I think is probably the best build at the moment. There might be some other kind of optimizations coming through in later days, but if you want to learn how to play Nuwa, I definitely recommend this. I also recommend to build the temple up with your peasant rather than with the Kualfu, because you need as many resources as you can, and taking this bad boy off is going to be very, very upsetting. So the big thing is we're going to be needing to get ourselves advanced defenses, which is the unique technology through Haltu, and watchtowers. So it's a lot of resources, and then we also need to be getting a lot of food and wood and gold in. So yes, we are going for a tower rush. So you Age of Empires 2 folks are going to be very, very aware of how potent a tower rush can be. In Age of Mythology, towers do have a very, very large weakness to villagers. So take this with a grain of salt, whether this is actually effective or not, but it's definitely a lot of fun to have a go at. And I know that there are some other very, very strong tactics to use with this technology. So we're going to be getting ourselves a 3-minute 45 advance time. You could potentially 3-minute 45 advance time. Apparently I'm forgetting to advance. A 4-minute advance time. Doesn't really matter. You can go as fast or as slow as you want here. 3:30 to 4 minutes. It is a rush, so is what it is. But we're going to move up onto our wood. We've got one Kualfu on gold here and one hero chieftain, hero Kualfu on wood, with 9 peasants on wood, because we need a lot. We need the 150 wood for the tower, 250 wood for advanced, and then we also need to get the wood and gold for towers, because they aren't free. They build instantly, but they aren't free. And the next question you're going to be asking yourself is, yeah, well, I mean, you can build towers out of walls. How are you going to get the walls up? Well, we're going to be using our God Power creation. This one is... It allows you to build put 4 villages in the classical age anywhere you want, or 4 in one spot, right? I'm also going to send a peasant forward to start looking to put some walls down on any sort of expansion gold mines he might be going for, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, okay, following all this, immediately watchtowers and advanced defenses. And you can actually send the peasants in whenever you want. You don't have to wait, because this is only costing 3 gold a wall segment. So you can start building these up immediately if you so choose. As he hits the classical age, and I'm going to get a little bit of harassment. He goes for a shifting sands. This kind of makes my strategy a little bit worse than it's supposed to be, because I'm trying to gold starve him with towers to prevent him from building any military units. But we're just going to be spamming these wall towers up, wall segments up, and then converting them as our technology comes through. And from here, effectively, I'm just looking to put towers everywhere. I don't expect this to be an amazing strategy, but I'm just going to... It might be, you never know. But I'm just going to be putting towers up all over the place. So just a lot of fun here for us as the tower abuser. Put one tower up to make sure he can't get gold on the on the main gold mine there. We've got our chunky boy, our Chonchi there, just flying around getting what he needs done, and we just need to make sure that our walls are placed in a way that they're gonna, or our towers are placed in a way that they can actually protect each other, as I don't actually think they are. So that wasn't exactly perfect. Do manage to get my peasants to move over onto another gold mine as I find where he's got his center shifting sand. So a nice little play from him to avoid me. But right now we gotta get some stuff over. And now the next part about this strat, this is where things get a little bit spicy. Your chieftain is insanely powerful. I kind of didn't realize it until later, but you can take this chieftain forward and you can effectively, it's unkillable early on. At this stage of the game, it's pretty unkillable. So if he's going to be really close to your base, or even if he's not, you're going to be fine to send this guy forward, as I am going to try and get some walls up on the front here to harass his food, and he will be able to take my peasants down. So not the best tactic here, but we get more towers up. It's so wild to me that these things are building instantly. Wall segments do not take very long to build at all, so defending against this is incredibly challenging. And now I finally realized if I bring my hero Guaofu over, it's going to be incredibly powerful. I guess the other thing here is you're allowed to float resources here. So the macro on this is actually wild, because you can get all these towers up on a location in one swift go. And each of these towers, especially if you get yourself crenellations as well, because that was recently buffed, each of these towers is worth actually quite a lot of damage on a position. So it's a really strong thing. Though your opponent can send their villagers forward and shank this down, so that's not a terrible idea either. As we are gonna, it's just so silly. It's just so silly, and you don't have to turn every tower into every segment into a tower either. And again, I'm sure that this stuff could be optimized to the nines to have some more fun with it. But, or you could even, as with Noir, you could even attempt to connect this to the favored land, and then you can actually, you don't even need a villager here. If in this specific situation, if I'd connected this to favored land, I could have been spamming out my wall segment. my wall segment tower army here as well. So you can see I've got most of the gold mines on this side of the map on lock. So now I just have to make sure that he can't get any other gold mines. He's definitely struggling to defend against this, moving his villagers all around the map. That town center on the front there is no longer really worth all too much. I do have Guaofu pre-queued. Not sure I'm building all too many. I've got one out. Okay, so yeah, getting these guys out is very helpful. I can see him attempting now to get over onto another gold mine. I'm already going to come over here and attempt to put a stop to that. But yeah, I don't know what else to say apart from this is really fun, really silly. I don't know if it's going to be in the game for all too long. Some of this Chinese civ feels like there's some stuff here that maybe was unintentional. I'm not 100% sure if this is unintentional or not, but yeah, he's going to be in for some trouble here, I guess. And he does decide to tap out in that moment. So only tower. All around the map. Very fun. Give this one a go. Let me know if you guys are finding wins with it or not. This next strategy is mostly going to be an investigation into the power of a Mythic Age unit. If you remember the Hetairoi for Poseidon, we're going to be looking at the Tiger Cav for Shennong. Okay, so now with Shennong, this is where things get a little bit interesting. I don't really know the best way to play Shennong at the moment in terms of build order. I've got a fairly stock standard build for Fuxi and for Shennong that works really nicely with an early second Guaofu and a 330 or 345 advance time. But the question is it worth it to put farms down early and use this god power, Prosperous? I think it's Prosperous Seeds. Is it worth it to do this or not? My current contention is no, not straight away, maybe a little bit later. But this god power is really, really good for boosting the food income to allow you to afford these big units later on in the game. So depending on how the game goes and what sort of civilization you're playing against, do you want to put these things down or not? I know for certain if I'm playing against, say, Kronos or, say, Fushi, who's going to go for those rushes, I can put some farms down on a gold mine and use Prosperous Seeds to hide my villagers on that gold mine. He's not going to be able to raid me, while I'm also going to be able to farm those into the silo there. So there's some really, really cool tactics to do with Shennong, but that's not what we're focusing on in this third strategy. This third strategy is all about getting to the Mythic Age and building out a whole bunch of Tiger Cavalry. And now this is only really going to work if your opponent is going to be playing a defensive boomy style. If they're going to be putting heavy pressure onto you, you will need to sort of defend it. Now you do have access to Hal 2 with Shennong as well as Nuwa, so it will give you some extra defensive capabilities to sort of hold on for the moment. We'll talk a little bit about that when I place the god power down. But yeah, it's fun. This is fun. So effectively, again, similar to what I did with Nuwa, I get exactly the right amount of resources in with the Quail Food. That's just the only real way to do it. So you have to play very, very specifically. China, not the easiest civ to play, in my opinion, but getting out the extra Quail Food here, getting the temple down forward is nice because you're going to be getting out free myth units for it. You want it to be kind of close to the battle, but also expanding out your favored land here to get even more favor in. And we're going to be looking to advance here. I don't really care about the really quick advance. If I get a 3:45 or I get a 4-minute here, not the biggest deal. I do want to get that Quailfu out as fast as possible. Every single Quailfu is one extra villager, basically. So 3 pop for the cost of 2 for 30 seconds. So it's really, really powerful. And we're going to be going for a fast second town center here against Hades. I'm sure there's probably some rushes and some silly stuff you can do here, but this is going to be a much more stock standard style. I was actually kind of surprised how much damage this Katoskopos was doing to my dude here. My pioneer was feeling very much violated from the wooden sword that Katoskopos was holding, so I have to run all the way back home. But anyways, it's not a big deal. I'm not looking to harass him too much early. I know he's got sentinels and all the other good stuff, so yeah, we're not going to be going for any of that. One thing that I think is really important with China and with like the way you build things is to get yourself a 3rd Quailfu as soon as you hit the classical age. Now you can get this out with a 3:45 advance time. You can see I've got the favor here, so if I did advance that 1 villager earlier, I would have got my 3rd Quailfu 1 villager earlier as well. Would be a smaller edge. Doesn't really matter in my opinion. As long as you're getting it out as fast, like not as fast as possible, but like as soon as you hit the classical age, you're all good. And then we're going to look to drop a town center. So you might ask, why? What is the other reason, apart from these Quailfu being so good in terms of like their efficiency and how much extra economy they get? Well, the other reason is that they build really, really quickly. So it's relatively unrealistic for a Greek player to deny your town center going up when you've got 2 Quailfu there. At the moment is what I'm thinking. So a 5-second town center is somewhat challenging to deal with. I also got this Yatsu for free, as well as my Chongqi here, so I get to harass while going for this this town center. He's going for a town center as well, so I'm happy to see that. I don't have to do any one town center all-ins, and we can actually go into our strategy. I just confirm it there, but just going to continue to try and get some villager kills here. Even if I don't, it's not the biggest of deals, but I'm just trying to get damage done. And from here, it's basically watch, harass, do things with these units. Try not to lose my dudes. I can run them back home and heal them, or run them to this position over here. And you can see I'm still going for no farms. I just don't know if I believe in it. I threw down a building here just in case, like if he's going to make any cavalry, I want to make sure I can get some halberdiers out. If he's going to make any archers, I want to make sure I can get some pikeman dudes out, and just a little bit of pressure for the map so that he can't send villagers around and start walling the map up, because that's something that I don't particularly like to deal with. So just get a couple of units out. You don't have to. You can go for like a naked fast heroic here. Not the biggest of deals, as now we're going to throw down our great wall, our stone wall, our ground wall, whatever it's called. This thing is so wild. Just as an aside for what I think about this god power, I don't think it's like necessarily broken in terms of like the design of it. I just think that it's a little bit clunky in that the wall segments are really, really small. You can only, as an aggressive player, you can only fit like 3 or 4 melee units onto it to actually get damage done. So personally, I'd like to see these like wall pieces get a little bit longer so I can maybe attack it with a couple more units and start actually cleaning things up a little bit easier, because they get a bit funky. And another way is that when you actually attack one wall, only a handful of your units will actually attack it. The rest will just sit behind, not really doing anything. It'd be kind of nice if they just fanned out naturally along the wall, sort of like they do on a regular wall. So there's a couple of issues with this, in my opinion, that I'm sure will get fixed in subsequent patches that are going to come through. But for the moment, it's a really, really strong defensive tool. Your opponent can't really raid here unless they really commit to breaking it. For those of you wondering, how do you actually beat this god power? Well, every time you kill one of the pieces of the wall, it does damage to the entire thing. So kill 1 piece, kill 2 piece, kill 3 piece, kill 4 piece. Once you kill 8 of them, they're all dead. All of the wall segments are dead. So that's one way to go about it. So at this point, I'm just trying to... I sort of forgot, but it is important to just keep getting Quailfu out. You can auto-queue these. There's not a problem with that. Just... It's fine. My Yatsu also got stuck in the wall there, so don't ask me how that happened. I'm not exactly sure. But nonetheless, yeah, no farms just yet. I still don't know if this is right or not, but no farms is my current thing, because I guess 2 farms wouldn't have gone astray, because they actually do gather faster than food. But nonetheless, my idea is to do this later, and that's what we're going for. So you can play with it how you want. The whole idea of this strategy isn't necessarily like a build order or a guide or anything. It's just, this is an idea for you guys to play with. I put down 2 machine workshops as well, just in case he's going to be going for mass infantry. I want to make sure I can get out some Chukonu out. They're really, really good at countering infantry. So just in case he goes for them, I also have to realize that he's probably going to be going for Peltast as well, if he's going to be going for infantry, because he wants to be able to protect against both. So I need to be thinking about what unit I'm going to be making. So I'm already kind of like, okay, my unit composition to beat the really strong Greek unit composition of Hoplite Peltast is going to be Tiger Cavalry and Chukonu. I also decided to go through this god here, which gives access to Drought. There is a really strong combo with Great Flood and Drought that I already knew about. And before this game, I did do a little bit of a research into the Blazing Prairie god power plus Drought. So this is another incredibly strong tactic to completely erase an opponent's base. So you can use both of these things and it's going to kill everything. I'm not 100% sure how Blazing Prairie goes without the Drought, though I know that it does kill the middle very, very easily. But if you have the Drought there, it's going to kill literally everything inside of the area of effect. So yeah, this god power is insane, to say the very least. It's very, very powerful. Whether it's stronger than a god power like Implode or Lightning Storm or Meteor, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But yeah, immediately we're going to be putting down our Baolei, our castle, and looking to go to the Mythic Age. So yeah, like I said, he's going to be playing defensive. So this strategy only kind of works if your opponent's going to be playing like one of the defensive gods. I'm talking like Ra or Hades or potentially Gaia maybe as another option. So yeah, you want to you want to be reading what your opponent's doing and reacting to it like always. But if you get the opportunity to do this, definitely do it. I build out one little white cavalry dude just so I can scout around and maybe threaten a little bit of stuff. I put my dock down here as well. This is a kind of a cool myth unit that comes out of the dock. It can, if you use its special ability, it can boost the stats of a building by a ton. So it's going to be like next to impossible to actually kill the castle. So if you get a pool of water and the ballet, yeah, that's really, really good. My opponent is going to be throwing up a castle or a fortress over there. I just want to prevent that because I don't want him to be sieging me just yet. Giving me as much time as I possibly can. Get the curse out, and then just kill off his myth units and all the other good stuff as we run away. Unfortunately, our myth units are getting owned there, and up we go through the blazing prairie. You don't have to go for the blazing prairie here. You can actually go for the other one with the big fat dragon dude, and you can be good. But yeah, I'm going to be throwing all my farms down now. And the big thing is right now is when going to the Mythic Age and building farms like this, you have fully upgraded farms at this point with flood control. You don't have to buy it, you just have it. So getting these farms down as you go into the Mythic Age or when you hit the Mythic Age is really, really good. So yeah, I just need to get more castles down now and get more villages onto gold. You can see my macro is actually not awful, but I'm doing so much flipping around with my Kwafu onto gold and onto wood because I just don't know what the amounts of stuff I need here. So it's fun for me to kind of figure all this stuff out, but there's going to be like a point where people just know, okay, I need this many amount of Kwafu on wood and this amount on gold for when I'm doing this strategy. And you're not going to have to do all of this extra stuff. I've also saved up all this favor so that I can start using my prosperous seeds. These white tiger cavalry are insanely expensive, and I'm going to get my upgrades here as well to get them out even quicker. And now my wood is going through the roof as I need to get more resources in and all the other good stuff. Trying to secure more of the map here, but my opponent has unfortunately already grabbed that third town center, which makes me very upset. I should have been quicker, but it is what it is. The beautiful thing about playing as China is you basically have the Atlantean drop-off mechanic in terms of farm transition. So what Atlanteans can do is they can put all their citizens over onto wood and then just put their farms anywhere. And what you can do with China is you can take a couple of villages off this wood line, put it onto the the silo that's on the wood to build the farms, go to a different position, put the farms in the silo there, and just do that all around the map. And sure, it's not like the safest place for them, but it's really strong. It gives you a lot of boost there as we're going to run into his main base, drop our blazing prairie down, and yeah, his base is not going to be long for this world. It is out of here, in other words. So huge amounts of damage. And now we can go into the heavy white tigers, which are really strong. So yeah, the only thing that I'm worried about now is infantry. So Chuko Nu is going to be that sort of unit. I also get this big fat turtle dude, and he's going to be able to go and get some extra damage done that I would not normally see on a different map. So if you've got water, definitely be building a dock with China. I think it's probably the strongest hybrid, like for a map which has a little bit of water. It's probably the strongest hybrid water myth units for this, but it's not like the strongest on like a full water map or something. It's kind of weird. But anyways, at the moment you can see how much struggle town we are having for food, as these Tiger Cavalry are just so ridiculously expensive. But yeah, we're going to be looking for raids and just more of these bad boys. Also getting the conscript upgrades as well to make sure that my units are training really quickly, and getting all our houses down in this fashion. It's just kind of cool being able to build your houses like this and being forced to, because it technically plays around gold powers like Meteor, like Earthquake. It's almost as if the devs were like, guys, these god powers, they aren't broken. Just play around them. Build the houses a little bit differently. And everyone's like, nah, I want to build my houses like this. And then the devs go, you know what? We're going to make you do it like this. But yeah, so I see his army, and I'm seeing that I need Chuko Nu here. So we need to get some more buildings, get some more upgrades. And once I get all these units out, I mean, you have to start asking the question, what is the best unit composition to use to beat these guys? I personally am not 100% sure. I got to guess you need hoplites for these champion tiger cavalry. They got a bonus versus range. They got a bonus versus cav. They got huge stats. They got huge damage. Sure, they're expensive, but I mean, you still have to kill them for them to actually feel expensive. If you can't kill them, then it doesn't matter that they're expensive, right? They're just really good. But yeah, nonetheless, now my macro is all over the place with 1,300 gold. So again, taking units off of that, putting them onto different things, and trying to sort everything out, getting upgrades and everything. But yeah, you can see it takes quite a while to get all these units out. So it's not like I can't say that this is like a insanely strong strategy, but a fun strategy, something that I think if you can make work in your games, a tactic to have in the back of your mind to go for, a sort of unit composition to aim for in a game for the Chinese. I think this is going to be insanely strong. So we'll get raids off and things, just gearing up to get an attack. Now we're at full population. Like I said, sure, they're really expensive, but when they're as strong as they are, they're not going to die that quickly. So your income is going to go up. You're going to be able to rebuild them straight away. I'm getting Chukonu. I'm still going to say Chokonu. I keep on saying Chokonu or something. It's Chukonu, right? But it's like my macro is so bad. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't help it. Help me. Help me. But our Tiger Cavalry, I should expect, completely clean up those Peltas as his hoplites weren't there. And as his hoplites journey over to greet us, we will have some very, very spicy archer dudes to help out. And also, obviously, the free myth units are a nice touch for this god as well. So let me know what you guys think about these sort of strategies. There's 3 different strategies to try for the 3 different gods, 3 different styles. You can actually, one thing I didn't say is, the first strategy with Fuxi, you can actually do this one with Shennong as well, but it is a 1 in 3. So you would effectively advance a little bit later, but you don't have to build a second Yatsu because you get it out for free. You just go straight into the upgrade, and potentially it's even stronger with Shennong. But yeah, it'll hit a little bit later. Just don't get a second Kuaofu, and just grab all the food. But yeah, so a bit of a interesting start to the Chinese. Are they too strong? Are they too weak? I'm still not 100% sure. I have played a couple of games against China and had some success. There are some things that are just like weird in this Civ, but we're slowly starting to get used to it. And anything, I'm sure that when like the Atlanteans came out, it was weird as well. And even when players went from Age 2 to Age of Mythology and saw like the Egyptians and saw the Norse, they probably thought that was weird as well. So it's some growing pains to get used to everything. But we'll see how it all goes. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying exploring the Civ. It's really, really in depth. Lots of different strategy potential for these bad boys. And as is always the case, this is the most fun time to be playing these sorts of Civs when they first come out, and you're just trying to learn and work out what's good, what's bad. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next game.